station you count on for local news. This is WIS News 10 Sunrise.
Plus, we're live with Lucas today. Good morning, Lucas. Where are you?
Good morning, Scott and Hannah. We're live this morning at the Colonial Center for the first robotics competition. Take a look at the crowd here this morning. High school students from part of the region here, and we're going to catch up, and I'll give you the nuts and bolts of this event coming up in about 5 minutes.
My goodness gracious, I want what they're having for breakfast. 5:08 now this morning. We are live with Lucas. Good morning.
Good morning, Scott and Hannah. Today we're live at the Colonial Center. Today and tomorrow is the first robotics Palmetto Regional competition. I want you to just take a look at the crowd here this morning. These are all high school students. Some are local kids, and we have one school from Michigan. And I have to say, the energy is unbelievable in this room. I want to introduce right now Marcia, and you're from Bell South, one of the sponsors of this competition. And yes. Marcia, I am overwhelmed with the robots and just this whole event. Let's first explain to folks what FIRST is.
FIRST is about getting students excited and involved in engineering, computer science, and technology. Currently in this country, we are not producing enough engineers to fill our jobs, and FIRST makes robotics and engineering cool. And these kids that are out here are doing amazing things. It's giving them self-confidence, and it is preparing them to go forward in college and get that degree in engineering and really contribute to our society.
Well, tell me how this works. Or were they given a certain amount of time to build a certain robot, and do they have certain challenges they have to do with this robot?
Each team is given the identical same set of robots parts on the same day, and then they have 6 weeks to build a robot. They're not given instructions, just a set of tasks that the robot has to be able to perform. 6 weeks to build it, and they all come up with interesting, creative ideas to solve those problems.
We're looking at them right now, and in fact, we're going to catch up with some of those teams, and we're going to get a closer look at these robots. Marcia, listen, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Doors open at what, 9 today?
9 o'clock. It's free to the public. 9 o'clock tomorrow. Come on out.
Yeah, all right. Thank you so much. All right, Scott and Hannah. I mean, really, look at the excitement with these kids. Not now, but earlier this morning.
Some of the state's brightest and the best there. All right.
There they go.
All right. Thank you, Lucas. Wait till you see those robots in action. It's stunning what they can do and how they can be programmed, and let you know that we're in for a bright future if those kids are in charge.
Plus, we're live with Lucas McFadden at the robotics competition.
Good morning, Scott and Hannah. It's the first Palmetto Regional Robotics competition, and we are live at the Colonial Center. And coming up in the next 5 minutes, we're going to introduce you to this robot as well as to its team members from Michigan.
All right.
5:37 now this morning. Lucas McFadden is previewing an event that gets underway in just a few short hours where our young people are going to be showing off their engineering and ingenuity in new ways. Hi, Lucas.
Good morning, Scott and Hannah. This is really cool. It's the first Palmetto Regional Robotics competition. High school students from around the country had to build a robot, and that robot will compete in a series of challenges. And we actually have one of the robots right there, and it's going to go for us here in a second. But I do want to introduce the team responsible for this robot, and your name is Eric, and you guys are from Michigan. What part of Michigan?
We're from Warren, which is just north of Detroit.
All right. Well, tell us about your robot. What's its name, and what is it going to do?
Robot's name is Whirligig. It basically drives around the field, and we throw balls in the top, and it shoots them into the goals up top, and it can push them into the lower goals as well.
All right, so is that the challenge this year, or what exactly does this have to do?
We have to shoot balls into the goals and stop other teams from shooting balls into their goals.
Okay, so it's kind of like basketball.
Yeah, it's a lot like robot basketball.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it, robot basketball. Oh, you made one. What was it like building this? I'm sure it was a lot of fun some days, and some days I guess you guys wanted to beat each other up.
Yeah, we had a 6-week build period, and we worked at the tech center, or GM Tech Center.
Ooh.
And just we had different teams to do different parts of it.
Great. Is that an armadillo that was on front of that machine?
Yep, a couple armadillos for the steel armadillos.
All right, and that's your school mascot?
Yes.
Great. All right, well, listen, thank you very much. We appreciate it. All right, again, doors open this morning at 9 o'clock for the competition, and we'll have some more information on our website. Just go to WISTV.com. Scott and Hannah?
All right.
Thank you, Lucas.
5:49, and we stop what we're doing to watch what Lucas is doing. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Scott and Hannah. We're live this morning at the Colonial Center. It's for the first Palmetto Regional Robotics Competition. And again, high school students from around the country are here. They had to build a robot, and that robot will compete in a series of challenges. Right now, I want to bring in Patrick from Blythewood High School. Now, this is your first time as a school competing in this, so what's it like to be a rookie school in this competition?
It's overwhelming because everyone's so big and so powerful, and we've got no experience, nothing. It's just overwhelming.
I understand you guys are doing some maintenance work right now on your robot, but tell us about it and how this one is different from the one we saw earlier.
Our robot goes more for the corner goals, and it's more of a defensive robot for blocking the shooting robots instead of just shooting. We're just kind of pushing balls into the corner and bumping other people.
And what's the name of your team?
It is II Robot.
I love that. All right. Well, I know you guys are going to continue to work on that, but I want to bring in Bob Couch from the Department of Education. And Bob, Patrick was just saying how much he loves to work with computers and how the whole team really loves to work with computers. And I'm sure that's great to hear because I understand we're in a crunch for engineers in America.
Yeah, the workforce is changing dramatically, and we're competing not only nationally but internationally. And for example, China had 400,000 engineers graduates last year, India 200,000, we had 70,000.
Oh,
so
gosh. Yeah.
the challenge we have is being able to prepare that workforce to compete.
Bob, listen, thank you very much. We appreciate it. The competition kicks off today at 9 o'clock. We'll have some information on our website.
They do an event for the younger kids called the Lego League, where they do the robots that are built out of Legos and that kind of thing. And Lego sponsors that, and they have tasks just like these robots, and it's a lot of fun. And even the young kids are getting into it. So we've got some good stock here.
Scott, I've been to those before, and they're a lot of fun. They're very cool to see.
Thanks, Lucas. Live with Lucas this morning and a team of robots.
Good morning, Scott and Hannah. We're live at the Colonial Center. Today and tomorrow is the first Palmetto Regional Robotics Competition. And coming up in the next 5 minutes, we're going to introduce you to another team. We're going to take a look at the robot, and I'll explain why I'm wearing this robe, and all that's heading your way.
Thank you, Obi-Wan. You're my only hope.
6:08 now this morning. We pause from the day's news to check in live with Lucas. Beginning at 9 o'clock this morning, the robotics competition gets underway. It's a two-day event featuring some of our states and out-of-states best and brightest.
And Jedi Master, I assume you're teaching some of these droids how to channel the Force?
Oh, Scott, man, that's right on. Good morning. 1,500 students from various states are here, and they're competing in this great event, the robotics competition. And we have another local school here. And Paul, tell us the school you guys are from.
We're from Irmo, Dutch Fork, and Chapin.
All right. And tell us about your team and why we're wearing these robes.
Well, our team is Team 1293, and we're just wearing these robes because they're wicked awesome.
Because we can. We're cool.
Yeah, right.
And 1293, that's your number?
Yeah. That's our team number.
Okay, great. Well, let's take a closer look at your robot. We'll start up here. What is this? Is this a camera?
Yeah, this is a camera, and it'll actually track a green light, and based on where it's looking, it'll align our robot to point to the light.
Okay, and this is where this is like a holding place for the balls?
This will hold the balls. The balls will come in through this area right here. It'll hold them, and then we can just shoot them out this way.
Okay. Yeah, the robot, we should say, is not cooperating with you guys right now. But I guess that's part of the thing about learning. It's about maintenance and doing work on it.
Right, right. Figuring out what's the problem and all.
What have you learned from this experience?
The most important thing would be teamwork and working together to get the job done. The sum is like just better. The sum is greater than the whole.
All right. Now, listen, I don't have technical skills whatsoever, but I don't know what any of these cords and wires have to do, but I know if we touch the red one or the black one, we explode.
Yeah, it'll blow up. It'll just blow up.
Did you guys know about any of this before you started?
Not really. We just have to, we read the manuals, read the instructions and all.
That's great. All right, Paul, listen, thank you very much and good luck. Again, the competition kicks off today at 9 o'clock right here at the Colonial Center.
All right, we're going to see one of these robots in action, right?
Yeah, I promise you we are.
All right, thank you very much, Lucas. Oh, Whitney Houston had it right several years ago when she said, "I believe the children are the future." Good morning, Lucas McFadden. If these children are our future, we're in good hands.
Oh, I was just telling them I'm going to be very nice to them because one day they're going to be my boss. Good morning, Scott and Hannah. We're live at the Colonial Center for the first Palmetto Regional Robotics Competition. The name pretty much says it all. It is a robotics competition. High school students had to build a robot, and that robot has to compete in a series of challenges. We have another school here, and your name is Michelle.
Michelle.
And you're from Pendleton.
Pendleton, South Carolina, yes.
And where is that?
That is in Anderson County, up near the mountains.
All right, well, let's see your robot in action. What will it do, and what's the purpose?
The robot will shoot, harvest, and gather balls.
Right. Now, I understand you are debating whether to be an engineer or an artist, and you are sold on an engineer, and why is that?
Because I actually got to do something with the robot. I fabricated and bent metal for the robot, and I loved it.
So you were sold after that?
Yes, I was.
Look at it. Is this thing going to eat us up or anything?
No.
It's not going to spit us out and shoot us in the goal?
No.
Well, I know there are a lot of folks who contribute. Look at that thing that contribute to this robot. Your whole team is standing right over here. Talk about the various roles that a team member will have or play in the building of this robot.
We have our marketing team, which will raise money for the robot. We'll have our building team. We'll have our chassis team. We'll have the appendages team, the shooting team. We also have our other teams which work on computers, programming, and anything and everything that has to do with it.
Look at that. So it can pick up the balls?
And shoot.
All right, way to go. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it. And by the way, you look like Xena, the Princess Warrior dressed like that.
Thank you.
All right. Scott and Hannah, again, the event kicks off today at 9 o'clock, Saturday at 9 o'clock, and it is free. Free.
It's quite a show, too, and the fierce competition there is it's very nail-biting, you know?
Yeah.
All right.
And good to see a little girl power in the group there.
Absolutely.
Stories for you, plus check in live with Lucas this morning at the robotics competition going on over at the Colonial Center.
Good morning, Scott and Hannah. 1,500 students are competing in this competition, and they're getting ready right now for a big face-off, which will happen probably maybe 10-15 minutes from now, but coming up in about 5 minutes, we're going to take you behind the scenes and show you some really cool robots.
All right.
6:36 now this morning. There are teams of young people in Columbia this weekend participating in what's called a robotics competition, and they're building these contraptions, and I am so impressed. I can't imagine where their ingenuity comes from. Just
cream of the crop.
Minds.
Good morning, Scott and Hannah. Well, all morning long we've been in this area here at the Colonial Center. It's called the Field, but let's walk this way. Behind this black curtain, this area is called the Pit, and this is a very secret area. And Roger Dougal from the USC School of Engineering, tell us what's so secretive about the Pit.
Well, you know, we're trying to ensure that all the teams have exactly the same experience here and the same level of competition. So there's rules on when the students can be here in the pit, and they can't walk in the door until it's time to go. And so that after that, they can work on their robots, they can do repairs, they can do anything they want to do that's creative to make the robot compete better.
So they can't touch it really until it's their time to shine.
That's right.
We've had special permission, though, for the schools that were here earlier.
Oh, yeah, we had to work for a month to get special permission in order to bring these teams down here and get them on the show this morning, because we have to run the robots around to make it exciting.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Roger. All right, you're from the USC School of Engineering. The kids out there, they're telling me that they're learning a lot. How is this really preparing them for a job as an engineer one day?
Oh, this is a tremendous opportunity. All of the skills that they're working on right now are the same skills engineers really use in the field. It's the teamwork, it's the creative thought process, it's the business model for how to make the team work.
That's great. Roger, listen, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Again, it's the first Palmetto Regional Robotics Competition. Doors open today at 9 o'clock, Saturday at 9 o'clock, and it's free. And Scott and Hannah, coming up in the next maybe 10 to 15 minutes, we're going to have a real competition out there in the field. So we're going to see these robots go at each other.
All right, I want to see that.
Yeah.
Let's check in with Lucas McFadden. He's with the First Robotics group. How many schools have decided to come together and compete?
48 teams, Scott and Hannah, 24 from South Carolina, and we have the Live with Lucas Robotics competition taking place right now. I'm going to get out of the field right now. Eric's going to get some shots, but I'm going to go around here and talk to one of these teams, and I'm going to make my way over here. Jason, you're from Florence School District 1,
yes,
and you tell us what's going on right now with you and your robot.
We're trying to control and turn and try and score, basically in the corner goals.
Okay. So you're trying people get your balls in the goals?
Yes, sir, on the bottom corner, which is 1 point, and currently it looks like. All right. And it looks like we have lost control of our right wheels.
Okay, you're right there, 178. Eric's shooting it right now. So you've lost control of your right wheels?
Yes, and that's really bad.
So what are you gonna, what's the plan now?
Try hitting as many bots as I can, try and just block them off.
Okay.
That's like for defense. See, so if I move this, the right wheel doesn't move.
Okay.
We have lost control of it.
Oh man. Man, some of these robots are out for blood this morning.
Yes. You should come here tomorrow and see how it really is.
All right. Well, Jason, thank you very much. Scott and Hannah, I'm glad I'm behind this wall right here. Man.
It's vicious out there, isn't it?
Robots are going to take over Columbia.
And I've got to call a foul on a couple of those robots. There was some traveling going on there with the ball.
Learning made fun. Those kids are loving what they're doing.
I want to go back to school now. Have a great Friday and an even better weekend.